Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Six Figure Body Podcast, the number one podcast for career driven men trying to get in shape and stay in shape. If you guys get value from this podcast, please leave a review and share it with your buddies. So, today I'm going to be going over inconsistent work schedules and just how annoying that is and what we can do, what you can do to get over that, right? Trying to get into a solid routine and get in shape, and having to adjust to your work schedule every single week, definitely a drag, right? It's one of those things that you just don't want to go through because it just brings so much baggage and so much garbage that you don't want to deal with. And it kind of feels like all odds are stacked against you, right? And then your head is in shambles because you know that you're falling out of shape, right? Because you're missing out on a little bit here, you're missing out on a little bit there, and all those things snowball, right? And they accumulate, right? And it's not very ideal having that burden of, physical fitness or having that burden of your body just start to fall apart, right? People might not be able to see it first, but you can see it, right? And you can feel it, right? And that just feels horrible. So, when they say when it comes to being a career driven dude, when they say more money, more problems, falling out of shape is one of those problems that the more money brings, right? Because time becomes a little bit more scarce. Currently, I have a client named Zach, right? And his work schedule is also kind of inconsistent. So sometimes he'll have days where he's on the road for 2 days, right? Like a Tuesday, Wednesday, right? And then other weeks he'll have times where he's on the road for 3 days. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And over the past year, he was saying that he could feel himself falling out of shape. He was in a nice solid routine, but leveled up with his career, got a new job, and that kind of threw things off for him because his work schedule was very inconsistent. Right, he didn't know how to grasp it. He didn't know how to maneuver through it so that he can still have that progress that he was having, right, without putting weight on, which is what ultimately happened. So, to get my man back in shape, here are a few things that we've started to do to get the ball rolling. Okay, so one of those things have been to plan his workout days around his workout schedule. Okay, so he normally travels for work on the same days each week, right? It's either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Tuesday through Thursday. Okay, so instead of your normal workout schedule that I typically give guys is Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Instead of that, or your typical three day a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, his workout schedule is a little bit funky. His is Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? Nothing wrong with working out Saturday. Personally, Saturday workouts were a favorite of mine because they did a few things for me. Saturday would be the day typically, right, where I go and eat a lot of food or drink a lot, right? So I just put on a ton of weight. I'm sure this happens with most people. Those are the days that I put on a ton of weight, right? So working out on Saturday was like that balance for me until I learned how to control impulse eating or impulse drinking, right? So if there's a day that he can't get to the gym because he's still on the road, then I have an alternative circuit workout already planned out for him, right? Already ready to rock and roll. So depending on where he goes, right? The hotel might not have a gym. Okay, so we just have to stay prepared. So the circuit workout that I gave him, it can be used with body weight. It can be used with dumbbells, right? It's just something that's versatile that you can get done to make sure that you still get the same amount of work that you need to get in, right? In order to continue getting closer to your goals. So gotta stay your toes. Now for his food, while he's on the road, we have a few options. I gave him a few options for this. Option number one, okay, is for him to pack and take a big cooler with his foods already prepped. Okay, so typically what I'll do is I'll recommend that my guys meal prep on Sunday and then meal prep again either on Wednesday or Thursday, right? One, so the food doesn't get stale, and two, so you're not cooking for hours, right? It just gives you a little bit more leeway. Okay, so packing does that, right? And then also, or that's what I recommend my guys to do as far as meal prepping. And then also, as far as packing, one of the things that it does for you is it saves money and it saves guilt, right? Money is just one of those things, when you're a career-driven dude, more money, more problems, right? And one of those problems come from eating out more, right? And going to hang out at fancier places. So by meal prepping, that saves a ton of money, okay? Second, it also saves guilt, because when you're out eating out every day or a few times a week, with no interest in how many calories you're taking in, you know what I'm saying? When you start looking in the mirror later that night or, next few months, and you start seeing some changes, you feel guilty, right? So packing saves both of those things. It saves you money and it saves you guilt, which are two very important things to make sure that you keep up under control. So that's one option for the food. The second option for the food is Subway, right? Subways are everywhere. And I recommend Subway because one, the calories are written on the menus so you can see them and you can add them up, right? So as long as your calories for the Subway sandwiches are at or within about 100 to 200 calories below what he's supposed to be, right? What my client's supposed to be, Zach, then we're good to go, right? Then we're good to go because my man's losing weight and I don't want him to put on weight and I don't want him under eating by a crazy amount, right? So we have ranges for ourselves. Okay, so that keeps us in order. That keeps us in line. That keeps us, on track with the goal. So hopefully you guys got some value from this. If you need help with getting back in shape, and you have an inconsistent work schedule, then as always, shoot me a DM. Let's hop on the phone and I'd be glad to shoot you a few pointers. But in the meantime, stay great. As always, I'm out.